Hello, this is Sean from Barry Digital Media. I hope you are doing well. Today, I wanted to take a quick look at digital online security in general. And this is especially important for people, for individuals, and businesses. For individuals, people, this is a big vulnerability, especially as more and more of us use things like our email to get into our banking accounts and take care of our day to day lives. If you don't have a secure email, then hackers can easily access that. And then on the flip side, for businesses, if you have a employee who is not taking care of good digital online security, then your entire business is pretty much at risk. This is probably one of the biggest weak points of your business that you can easily overlook, especially with all the account management and day-to-day financials and goals that we're setting. The passwords of the employees are probably one of the most vulnerable points. And that's why I have used a strong and separate password for your email highlighted in some of these Google results here. It's just, from what I've seen, the poor passwords that even software developers will use just expose huge vulnerabilities. Like I've seen clients use their name. I've seen client use their business address. I've seen all sorts of just really poor passwords where with a simple brute force attack, there would be a good chance that a hacker would be able to get into that system. So that said, I just want to go through a couple of these tips here. I was looking for some articles, but Google here provided some good answers. And so I'm going to mostly focus on these results. Top tips for staying secure online: use a strong and separate password for your email, install the latest software and app updates. So this is also something that I think is becoming more important as the hackers become as let's see, how should I frame this? As the hackers become more sophisticated in the broader scope of technology that is available out there, it just opens more holes that it just opens more holes that attackers can penetrate. And so, I mean, when you do an update, that sometimes opens up a new window, but usually the update will take care of 100 updates or 100 vulnerabilities while opening up potentially one vulnerability. That's actually to go down a rabbit hole. That's actually one of the pros I see with Windows becoming more of a service as a software platform, is because of all the changing technologies that are out there and all the vulnerabilities. Having a constantly updated system helps prevent those vulnerabilities being exposed by hackers. Now, there's also two-step verification. This is becoming much more popular with email systems, which does help secure the email. Now, I understand that that's not 100% foolproof. I think I heard a story where somebody was able to install a little bit of malware on someone's phone, and then that was able to overturn the two-step verification. I don't know beyond the details, but how I think that would work is somebody would try to access your email. A notification would go to your phone, but then the malware would probably disable the notification and then send the code or the verification to the hacker, and that would complete their access. Managing your passwords, that's a little bit vague, but it's probably just helping to keep your passwords in a secure place. Backing up your data so that if you have important information, it's good to put it on a disk, a offline disk, and then save it on a physical piece of media hidden away, or potentially in a cloud, like a online cloud backup area, which still has some vulnerabilities in there, but you just want to make sure that if your computer goes down, or if a hacker gets control of your computer, that you still have access to your sensitive information. 3 random words. So I think this is a tip for creating a password, similar to like cryptocurrencies where you need like 12 words. If you just put 3 random words together for a password, that's easy to remember but somewhat difficult password to break into. And then I noticed inside the same search results that it has a lot of these nice tips here as well. So I just wanted to focus on these ones right here, which is very good. Again, either as an individual or a business, these points can help you understand the right process in making a secure online presence. So plan, protect, prove, promote, and partner. So plan, you want to essentially set a goal and some steps in order to secure yourself. Protect, so that I guess that's pretty much, maybe that's just execution of your plan. Prove it, you want to test it. So if you, let's say, set a password for yourself, you might want to give your computer to a friend and see if they can break into it. Now that's a very basic version. If you own a business, you will want to do much more extensive cybersecurity, which that kind of links into the partner here. So at one of the businesses I worked with, we were working with a system that essentially would send out emails to employees, and they would be kind of phishing emails. So it'd be like, hey, I'm your boss and I need this information from you quickly. Send it over to me immediately. And of course, as the employee, you always want to satisfy your boss. So the incentive or the motivation is to get that information to your boss as soon as possible. But upon further looking on the email, you'll notice that there are specific tells, like if the employer is asking you for your phone number, that's probably something that he doesn't need to ask you through email, or potentially the domain that the email is being sent to you. It could be very similar to your actual business email, but it might be just one letter off. In a more compromised state, it actually might be coming from a domain with your company name in it. But there you have to use your own intuition, and it's always better to just pick up the phone and call like your boss directly, just to confirm that email before sending any compromising data over an email. Next up, we have promote. So it doesn't just stop at you. It's very important to speak about protecting yourself to your friends, colleagues, just as you go. It's very easy to have a vulnerability and for people to forget that, yes, they are vulnerable to cyber attacks. And going back to one of my first examples, one of the companies that I worked with, in their software, what am I trying to say? In some of their softwares, their passwords were consistently bad. Even after telling the software people that, yeah, we needed sophisticated passwords, but constantly we would get bad passwords back. So we would have to remind them pretty much every 3 or 4 months that this password is not acceptable and we need to make sure it's more secure. And then finally, we have partner here, and that's going back to prove you, depending upon how big your company is and if you can afford it, really. you want to partner with people who are specialists in cybersecurity and have them find weak points in your system. And that's their job. That's their job, and they will do their best. They will think about ways to hack into your system that you would not dream of thinking, and they will poke and prod and try to find it before someone with malicious intent will find it, hopefully. In fact, kind of an interesting point. I understand that usually, these people who are employed. What am I trying to say? Basically, these kind of people who are employed, they're basically the white hats. They do the job of trying to hack into your system for good, rather than the black hats, where they try to hack into your system for bad reasons. Let's see. Let's just take a quick look down here and see if there's any other. What are 3Rs of cybersecurity? Risk, resilience, and recovery. Yeah, so I guess one other thing that's added there is just recovery. So you might want to have a plan in case your systems are breached. So I guess that goes back up to having backups. If you have an email where it has a bunch of your security passwords inside of it, you want to keep those passwords in another secure place, just in case your email gets hacked, and so you can still access your important data, or at least try to get to it quickly before somebody else changes it. Yeah, okay. Let's wrap it up there. I hope you found that this was helpful. You know what? Let's just go through these. Florida State University, top 10 cybersecurity tips for employees. Create strong passwords. Know how to identify phishing attempts. So that kind of goes back to what I was talking about, where you might get these fake emails from your boss asking for special information and trying to trick you that way. Two-factor authentication. Lock your devices. So if you are an employee who works at a company, you might want to make it so your screensaver goes on quickly after 5 minutes. So then if you leave your computer, then your PC locks, because we always think about threats coming from external people, but sometimes the malicious person, it comes from inside the company as well, and they might not be attacking the company, but they might be attacking the employee. Or in any case, it's your responsibility to ensure that the computer and devices that you're responsible for are secure. Protect personal information. Limit activities on public Wi-Fi. This is another one that is surprising too, in the sense that if you're browsing on your phone, or you're on the train connected to the Wi-Fi there, or at Starbucks or some coffee store connected to their Wi-Fi, that actually opens you up to all sorts of attacks on that network, because you opened a door, and what somebody on the same network can do is walk through that door. So if you are out in public, it's always better to set up a hotspot on your phone rather than connecting to the public Wi-Fi. Back up your computer, monitor your accounts. Yeah, you always want to be taking a look at your bank accounts and make sure that there's no unusual data. There's some Wi-Fi providers that will give you a service where you could see all the different devices that are connected to your Wi-Fi, so that could help. Be alert and attend training. So that goes back to just promotion. So you want to make sure that your team is always thinking about security and making sure that they're protected from potential attacks. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have a good day.